Hello, everyone. The mic might sound a bit different again. I'm just tinkering and figuring things out. You know how it is. Welcome to the weekly sip. What's up? Y'all have your coffees? Oh, that's good. First time you're in person for a sip. Well, hello. I got a fucking Manscaped ad with hooers yapping away about body hair. Oh, yeah. Hi, everyone. What's going on? How are you all doing? How's everyone feeling? What's the scoop? What's the story? Oh, there's many things to talk about, isn't there? Able to afford eggs. I live in the sticks, the boons, the boonies. Inflation's still hitting us, but not as hard since there's actually farmland around. It's still bad though. It's better here than most places, Basically, if this is a place that I would want to be to ride out like the current storm that we're in with COVID plus now the recession that came from the COVID lockdowns. Now that being said, let me look this up real quick. Inflation. Here's the inflation breakdown for December 2022. The inflation rate fell again in December to 6.5%. That's down from 7.1% in November and a 9.1% peak in June. So even though 2022 was a period of inflation, it wasn't hyperinflation. We didn't see like 10,000% the way that you saw in Weimar Germany or in Venezuela or something. We were on the way to 10% inflation. Normal background inflation is 1 to 2%. And you know what? It seems like it's going back down. This is something that I said. I've been saying it a few times, but I think I said it in my was it Bidenomics or whatever video, where basically that this inflation was a result of the COVID stimulus, which was to offset being locked down, and that it would pass through the system. It would probably take a year or two, but that things would eventually return to normal. And it seems like things are, in fact, returning to normal. So, people are extremely like prone to go full doom and gloom. The world's going crazy. But you know what? The honest truth is, things aren't nearly as bad as everyone thinks. It'll be okay. It'll be all right. I got $2 from C. Thomas Penis. Thanks, buddy. $5 from Stug. I've been very patient, Deb. Have you abandoned your free will video? The people have a right to know. Oh, the video on free will. No, I haven't. It's just like on the extreme back burner because that's more of a philosophy video than like a news video, Interesting. Now go to the store and tell me things are returning to normal. Oh yeah, food's still more expensive. Here's the thing, guys. Everyone so for example, Zenchan, you said inflation does not go down; it only slows. It keeps increasing. Yes, Zenchan, and you actually want that. All right, you don't want deflation. You don't want negative inflation, because if like deflation brings a shit ton of problems. So, for example, if you have $100, right, and you want to buy something, yeah, in a few years that $100 might have less purchasing power, right, because of slow inflation. So that incentivizes spending right now, and it de-incentivizes saving, and that's bad. However, what it does incentivize is investing. You invest in things. So you invest in real estate, or you invest in stocks, or whatever the case may be. And we do want to incentivize that sort of investing. So that's kind of important. But secondly, if you have deflation, no, Zenchan, hear me out. If you have deflation, it's so much worse, dude. Because think about it. Let's say that you have money. All right. Let's say that you have $100, and that $100 in a year will buy what $120 currently buys. Because so now rather than the individual purchasing power of each dollar decreasing over time, it's going to increase. That incentivizes saving. Well, that sounds good. Okay, why should I buy now when I can save for the future? Okay, fair enough. But here's the thing: that incentivizes saving to such a degree that no one buys anything anymore. All right, no one buys anything anymore, and that's like fucked. I mean, you can actually reach a point with deflation where it becomes economically viable to starve because you can buy more food in the future with the same amount of money that you can buy right now. And as soon as you hit that point of deflation, your entire economy collapses because it's no longer worth it to buy anything. So now it's like, okay, you have money, and the money is valuable, at least on paper, but it's not actually worth it to spend it, because the minute that you spend it, you lose all the value because your money keeps growing in value while your assets don't. So like, your economy collapses if you have deflation. All right? So I'm not strawmanning. No, I've just been learning more about economics over the years. People are already not buying things. Stable currency with little to no inflation is best. Yeah, see, I basically agree with that, Fuzzy Beard. That's why I liked the 1% inflation that we were at for like a good chunk of the 90s, a good chunk of the 2010s. That's like pretty good. That's pretty good. Actually, here, Fuzzy, I'll mod you. How do I mod? There we go. Let's see. Emperor Creatine, $10. Thanks, man. Seeing pics of police protecting a German coal mine from protesters going around Twitter. If only there were some alternate, more powerful, cleaner form of energy they could use instead. They'll figure it out. Then again, do you really want the Germans having nuclear power? Real Holsteiner, $10. Thank you very much, dude. Good morning, Dev. Hope you're doing well. Here in New England, our olive oil went from $9 for 64 ounces to $15 for the same amount in the last 2 months. I understand that our economy is growth stage. It's an FIY. Yeah, see, I'm not saying that like the current situation is good, right? But people who want deflation, like, no. The way that we had it before the stimulus, 1% inflation was pretty good. That was actually pretty decent. All right? That was pretty decent. Dev, will you admit that the American dollar has no real value because the Federal Reserve made it up? That's all money. All right? Nothing has any real value. If like, it's all just people's perception, right? Dollars have value because people believe they have value. Gold has value because people believe they have value. All right? Charlie. Dev, stop being right about Lotus Eaters. Also, UGUI. What do you mean by that? I like... All right, I'll mod you, Tidge. Just send me one more nude, okay? We'll do it. No, Zenchan, deflation wouldn't be good. No, absolutely not. No. Holznader, $5. What you're saying is we want massive deflation in Canada so you can finally lose some weight. Oh God, my weight has actually gotten worse. Some people noticed yesterday that I look fatter on the return stream than I did like a month ago or two. And yeah, some of that's going to be Christmas fat, but some of it's just going to be me. Okay, here, you know what? Actually, wait, what, Dev? What do you mean? Dev, yeah, of course. Yeah, send me more nudes. More nudes. Delicious coffee. Here, I actually have news to tell you, but you know what? I said most of the news during yesterday's state of the channel. If you guys didn't watch the state of the channel, you know what? I suddenly have to go for a piss. So you know what? I'm going to play state of the channel for you, and you guys can just watch it. I'll be back in 3.5 minutes, okay? Let me just, yeah, here we go. Just in case you missed my PSA yesterday, you can watch it real quick, and I'll be back. Hey ya buddies, here's a quick update from Dev. The vacation's over. I posted that debate yesterday, which was quite fun, and me and the gang streamed some Secret of Mana last night. I was driving up and down the halls in this scooter, in my shitty Darth Vader costume, and I was saying in the most, let's say, disabled voice that I could muster. It's like, Luke, I am your father.
That's more of a speech impediment.
And I was just like, and everyone was like laughing at me driving around, and the teacher's like, "Who the fuck is on the scooter?" Because I had the mask on, right? And I'm just like, "Luke, I am your father."
Oh, wow.
And
I'm sorry I missed that.
I got like a full day of detention for that.
I've always wanted to play that game 3-player ever since I was a babby dev. I know I said yesterday I was going to stream some River City Girls 2 tonight, but sometimes life just throws you a curveball. I'm aiming to do the weekly sip tomorrow morning, and me, Lilith, Arch, and Kibbs are going to start up a second watch party series, this time of that god-awful looking upcoming HBO show, The Last of Us. So look forward to that video on Monday. I've got more news for you though. The week off paid off. YouTube told me my channel is in the clear regarding being squeaky clean, and so the silver play button is on the way, which is great news. I'll make sure to do a 100k sub video once I get it, like a year and a half late. I don't think I'll ever be more late than that for anything. But to get my channel squeaky clean, I did have to take some videos down, including the divisive "Yes, I'm a Centrist" video. That one got flagged for something or other. A few slack-jawed yokels were making fun of the fact that I took it down, thinking I was cowardly and backing out due to the backlash or something. In fact, that brings us to the last thing I want to update you on. If you were subbed to the Devonetized channel, you probably noticed last summer when like 50 videos were dumped onto it all at once. A few people began to scream in comments about how their feeds were getting raped, and fair enough. Devonetized is a channel not run by me personally, but I do know the person who operates it, and it serves as a repository for all my videos that are limited or demonetized or age restricted or whatever. So a lot of the videos that I had to recently take down, including the centrist one, will be coming up over there, but this time only one video at a time. In much the same vein, the Dev and Friends channel, which is one that I actually run, over there, a lot of the old Dumping with Scrumps, old interviews and debates, old Tubcast episodes, they're all being uploaded over there, again, one a day, starting tomorrow. I have a specific vision of what SFO should be that I want to try and work towards. The goal being a daily video of some type, with streams and other things being a bonus, while the side channels each serve a purpose that doesn't quite fit in with the main one. A lot of this stuff is still a little while off, but another project that I set into motion during my week off was to work towards an SFO Arcade Clips channel. There's been a number of people who have told me that they would watch my gaming content, but they just don't have time to watch hours upon hours of stream VODs, or tune in every single night. So I'm going to look into bringing somebody on to cut streams up into best of moments, but that's not going to be coming until February at least. One last bit of news. I'm finally going to be relaunching the Minecraft server soon, this time with some mods and a fresh map to see if we can bring it back to life. But there's also been a lot of interest in a Team Fortress 2 server, so that's in the cards too. I'm going to try to do this stuff before February, before the Clips channel. That's everything coming up. I'll probably repeat all this in the weekly sip tomorrow, but if you don't watch that, that's what's going on with me. Thanks for all the support, guys. All the tips that I get through Twitch subs and memberships and Subscribestar and whatever else. Make sure to get yourself in the SFO Discord, because we're finally doing movie nights again, even if some people complain about my movie choice. And yeah, everything seems to be going pretty well. I'm excited for what's coming down the pipe. I'll see you guys later. I love you. Okay, I'm back from pissing. How's it going? Okay, Zenchan, why are you being a salty salamander now? You've been negative ever since the stream started. You're a mean guy nowadays. What happened? Anyway, listen. There's a few things that I have to change from that, because some things have changed. So firstly, is that even basically Lilith has to work tonight and Arch has to work tonight, and they're both like one-time events. So we are going to normally be normally recording the Last of Us watch party Sunday night and then launching it Monday night. But this week we have to watch it tomorrow, so we'll be one day late and launch it Tuesday. So yeah, oh well. That's just how it is. We're going to be one day late on the first episode of The Last of Us watch party. Also, Watery, you were in the chat being like, who cares? I care. I care. You motherfucker. What else? Oh yeah, secondly, like, when I posted that first of all, yeah. By the way, I will not. I will not hear any clapback. I think the whole "Wook, I am your father" thing is fucking hilarious, and I won't be told otherwise. If you disagree, fuck you. Fuck you. Patrick Sloan. You mean real mods? You mean plugins? I know like one of the mods that people want is called Terralith. It's like some sort of like new biomes and stuff. It's not going to be a vanilla server, but it's probably not going to be like heavily modded. But yeah, there'll be Minecraft and there'll be TF2, and I'll be working on that in the next 2 weeks. So, the first Last of Us is delayed by 1 day. Yep, the Minecraft and TF2 servers are coming in the next couple weeks. I want to get those done before February. That's the deadline I've set with myself. And then finally, Wook, I am your father. When I posted that clip, I wanted to show, just put an example of what the gaming stream is like, so that if people who are interested, they can check it out, because that's what it looks like. It's us on a couch. However, somebody pointed out that I look much fatter than I did a few months ago, and that's true. I have gained weight. I am now the fattest I've been since I first lost a bunch of weight. I'll read those super chats in a minute. I want to get the story out. So, for those of you who don't know the Dev Deep lore, is that how much lore do how much lore do I want to give? How much do you guys even care? Basically, I was an athlete in high school. I was actually in very good shape. Some things happened when I was 16. I stopped doing sports. I wasn't really like doing sports. I was a track runner. I was a track and field guy. So I stopped doing track and field. A lot of my behaviors changed at that point. I became an insomniac for about 2 years. I went off to school, and then when I went off to school to university, I gained like 80 pounds in the first year. Of like everyone gains like the freshman 15. I gained 80 pounds in my first year. I was like ridiculously fat. It was like really bad. It was really bad. No, Vicar, I was actually an athlete. I made it to OFSA. All right. OFSA is the Ontario-wide track and field meet for all the students. It is the biggest track and field meet at the high school level in Canada. And I made it there. I didn't do very well because I was up against like these 6'2" black guys from Toronto who fucking destroyed me in sprinting. But here's the thing. I was 5'7" in high school, and I could still sprint and like mostly keep up with them. They just had faster starts. I had the same top speed as these guys with way huger legs than me, but like they could explode right at the start, and I couldn't. So, but anyway, I was a track and field guy. I stopped due to something that happened when I was 16. I stopped a bunch of things that my life basically drastically changed at one point. I went off to university. At university, I gained 80 pounds from eating all, because like here's how university life works. You live on campus, you live in the dorms. You can go. It was every day was an all you can eat buffet for the food. You just have to swipe your card at the door because you had a meal plan that came with your residence if you lived on campus. So I would go off and just eat like crazy. Pizza every fucking day, dude. Like ham omelets and shit. Like, oh man, I was eating crazy, dude. And I was just really fat. I ballooned to the point that by the time I was like 24, I was like the size that Boogie is right now. Because Boogie lost a bunch of weight. I was never as big as Boogie at his fattest, but Boogie lost a bunch of weight. And no, I think Boogie's regained some weight, hasn't he? No, like Boogie got down to like what 350 pounds or something. I was around there. I was around there when I was like 24. I was ridiculous. I was ridiculously fat. And then I actually had a medical problem at 24 years old. And then also like other personal life things. Basically, a bunch of shit collapsed on me when I was like 24. My health, my relationship, I dropped out of school. Everything fell apart. Everything fell apart. And then I spent like a year and a half getting from the 350 down to about like 180 pounds. And if you actually go back and watch like the old Pokemon Fire Red playthrough on the gaming channel from like 2011 or something, you can see me. I was pretty thin back then. However, ever since my current weight gain is not due to any sort of depression or anything like that, or any sort of like life events. It's just due to the fact that I'm literally on my ass all day, either making videos or reading something. I'm always like, all my work now is desk work, right? So I'm not stocking shelves at a grocery store. I'm not like using heavy equipment. I'm not swinging a sledgehammer. I'm not lifting heavy boxes or heavy bags anymore. So I've now gained back. I'm nowhere near 350. I'm nowhere near 350 again. But I've now gained back a lot. I've gained back a good chunk of it. So I need to. And you know what? I saw the when I saw myself during that Secret of Mana playthrough, and then I saw somebody post the comment that was like, "Dev, I thought you were losing weight. What happened?" I was like, "Fuck, dude. Yeah. Yeah." I realized I let it like slip away again. And I'm now worse than I have been since I lost the initial weight. This is the lowest point for me right now. So I was like lying in bed last night and I couldn't fucking sleep and it was just bothering me. What I ended up doing was I got up and it was like 1 a.m. and I worked out in the middle of the night. Now, before I met Naomi, I'm not saying it's Naomi's fault. This is just the nature of being in a serious relationship and living with a girlfriend. Before I met Naomi, before she moved into my place, I hadn't. I always did my workouts in the middle of the night. I would run around town at night. I would work out in the middle of the night. I would lift weights at like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. I'd go jogging when like it's dark out, just because that's how I like to do it. And I realized like being in a relationship and having to come to bed at a reasonable hour had been a small part, not a huge part, but a small part of why I hadn't been working out that much. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm not blaming the woman. I'm also eating more, yes. I'm definitely eating more, yes. Cardio is much better for weight loss than musculation. Cardio is important, but I disagree. I disagree. You definitely need like to build muscle to lose weight for sure. Being in a relationship, being in bed at a reasonable hour, there is no correlation. There is when your girlfriend has to get up at 7 a.m. every single day to go to her normie job. By the way, I appreciate all the super chats. Support the channel, guys, so that I can hire Naomi on and she can quit her fucking job. So I've got I still have my old weights from back in the day when I lost the weight. I've got stuff like Ring Fit if I ever wanted to do that. I've I know how to count calories. I still have like my old calorie counting app on my phone from back in the day. I know exactly what to do. I have all the knowledge. I have all the tools. I just have to do it and stop making excuses. You know what I mean? One of the hosts from the Lotus Eaters decided to throw his hat into the ring of the lolly debate, so I said the reaction wasn't the best. Oh yeah, they're going anti-lolly, eh? Lift weights faster. It's okay, Rock. Listen. I might ask for super chats and stuff, guys, but listen, seriously, if you can't afford to give money, don't. Take care of yourself first. I appreciate it. I appreciate getting paid, but take care of yourself first. Paying for this content should be a privilege. All right, it should be something that you do after you're taken care of and you feel like you have a few bucks to throw my way to keep it coming. But if you can't afford it, don't worry about it. All right, seriously, take care of yourself first. Anyway, that's the Dev Fat story. That's the Dev Fat story. And I was just like, you know what? I need to. If I'm gonna lose weight again, I need to do what I did before. And what I did when I lost weight the first time, I exercised at night because I feel the most comfortable doing so at night. Lifted weights, ran cardio at night. Didn't matter if it was raining or snowing or whatever. I did it at night, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the privacy. I enjoy the fact that I enjoy being up at night, man. And also, I cut out like all carbs, with the exception of coffee because I love coffee. But I cut out all carbs. And I just ate like, so for example, you're gonna have like a tuna fish sandwich, right? You have tuna, maybe a little bit of mayo, you have some cheese, some lettuce, and you put it on bread, right? Just take that shit, take the bread out of it, put it in a bowl, and have like a tuna salad. Tuna, mayo, cheese, like spinach or something. Mix it all up, add some black pepper, you know. You can take every meal that has carbs and just remove the carbs from it. You can do that. So I just gotta basically do that. Like I know exactly what I have to do, I just need to do it. And I'm at the point now where like, I worked out last night. I worked out this morning before the sip, and I'm like so much more energized. I recorded a new video for Monday in between, like as well, right? I wrote and recorded a video and worked out because I'm so feeling good right now. So I know what I need to do. I just got to do it. I just got to fucking do it, you know? Just got to do it. Coffee is carbs, yes. Only like a little bit. It's like one carb. Oh, yes, cheese and lettuce. Lettuce is healthy fiber, and cheese is healthy fat. Like, you want to eat sources of protein and sources of dietary fat and sources of fiber. You want to cut out the simple carbs. The simple carbs are the rice and the pasta and the bread and the potatoes. You want to cut that shit out. Actually, I don't even put sugar in it, you know? I put a little bit of milk in it. And I put a little bit of flavoring in it that has sugar in it, admittedly, but not much. I put in like 1 spoonful of flavoring, and it has less than 1 spoonful of sugar in it. So it's not much sugar. Zenchan, you're not fat like I am. You don't. Zenchan, I've seen pictures of you. You're a fucking stick, dude. You're a stick. You don't need to lose weight. Yeah, I don't drink soda at all anymore. I'm like done with that shit. I've done with that shit for years. For me, it's just been like, you know what? I don't really even eat like bad food. Like I don't really order pizzas anymore. I don't like eat hamburgers anymore. I just eat a lot of regular food. You know, I'll have like salmon and brown rice and broccoli stir fry, right? And I'll just have like 8 plates of that shit. I don't eat bad food. I just eat a lot of regular food. I just gotta have less regular food. So anyway, that's my story. That's what's going on. Friends. So yeah, everything is coming. It's all happening. I'm gonna figure out something with the clips with the SFO Arcade Clips channel, because I know there's a bunch of you who have said, listen, I can't watch a stream every night. I can't watch hours and hours of stream archives, but I do want to see you play through whatever game it is, Skyward Sword, you know, Elden Ring, whatever game it is. I want to see you play through those games. So we're gonna do like 10-minute clips, and they're gonna just have like the best moments. It's still gonna be coherent. It's not gonna be like screaming, flashing Zoomer humor where you just can't tell what's going on. It's all just like jokes. It will coherently go through the game, but I'm gonna cut out all the dead air, leave in only the best jokes, like Luke, I am your father, and it'll be okay. I'll figure it out. You got you watch the video. You know what I'm doing. You know what's going on. You know what's going on. Watering your crops with energy drink is the way. Here, before we move on to the news, let me read the super chats that just came in. Thanks very much, guys. Thanks very much. Okay. let's read them supers. Okay, let's see. As someone who has been struggling with weight since COVID, I feel you, Dev. Good luck, and hopefully 2023 will be great. That's $5 from Sean. Thanks very much, dude. $20. Thank you from Holtznader. Thank you. You got this, man. I hope so. Tidge just joined the $5 club. Welcome back, Dev. Hope you enjoyed your brief time off. XO. Thanks. Thanks, baby. Tanushi for €5. Thank you. When it comes to working out, which is worse? The shame of not working up to your own standards or overdoing it and wrecking yourself for a week? I think the first one is. The first one's worse. Like, when I wreck myself for a week, I can still do stuff. I can still kind of work out. I can still go for a walk or something, you know? It's not doing it that's the worst thing for me. Based Ape for €10. Thank you. Go lift something heavy and observe what happens to your heart rate. That's cardio. What we call cardio is just working out without the difficulty. It's just lazy working out. I don't know. I feel like running can definitely not be lazy. I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean. Like, you get guys who have like 5-pound dumbbells and they do like 100 reps of something, and it's like, well, that's not going to build muscle, dude. I know what you mean, though. Shaker Silver, $5 Canadian. Returning to normal. That's a normal that gave us 2007 in the last recession, a cycle that keeps the middle class down. You'll own nothing and be happy. Is Based Ape like somebody that people know? I haven't heard the name before. Listen, Shaker, boom and bust is kind of the normal. That is what a free market is cycle. Like, the world is a chaotic place. Sometimes things change and the market reacts accordingly. Like welcome to life, you know? Welcome to life. You can't just have infinite growth upwards forever. Real Holtzner sent you a Streamlabs because YouTube's censored. Thank you for the $2. I don't know how to check the Streamlabs, though. How do I do it? Let's see. I'm going to see how I can do it. I don't understand how anything works. Greta voice, how dare you? Oh, you're a Lotus Eaters regular. Okay. Well, I don't watch Lotus Eaters all the time. I do watch sometimes because Sargon's my friend, but I find myself not agreeing with them about as often as I agree with them, which is fine. I know one of those guys, fuck, who was it? Is his name Leo? He called me out for being gay, and it's like, listen, I'm not gay. I'm bi, okay? I'll fuck women. It's that those women can have any sets of genitals you like. That's the difference. Let's see the tips. Did I get a tip? Okay, it says that I got a tip, but it won't show me the tip. Oh my god. Show me. Streamlabs fucking sucks. Okay. Oh, no, here it is. Holtznader gave $5 through Streamlabs, not on YouTube. Dev likes his coffee like he likes his men. Dark, strong, and down his throat. Yeah. Leo had a trans Jeff, really? Dude, Based trap enjoyer. I'm not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men. Oh god, that's funny. Patrick, for $5. It won't show me the tip, Dev, when Tidge sends a clothed image. Okay, let's go back to the supers. I'll keep reading them, and then we'll get on to the news. Hold on. Did I miss anything? Oh, okay. Holsteiner, $5. Didn't mean to make you feel bad, man. Sorry. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. So here's the thing. Like, I've been fatter than this, so I don't feel depressed. I just feel like, shit, I gotta fix this. Fuck, I gotta, like, stop burning the candle at both ends, trying to make videos, and failing to get them out anyway, and just devote some time to working out, even when I don't want to. I just gotta do it. I feel okay with it. Artemis, $2. Get a standing desk. Yeah. Okay. I probably should at some point. I still have that old desk that broke. You know, the desk broke in half like a year ago. I just put like a pole in the middle of it to prop it up. It's fine. It's still going. It's okay. Holzner, good for you, man. Thank you. C. Thomas, $2. Dev fat is like the sky being blue. LOL. Holtzner, $5. I hear you, Dev. After I gave up smoking and amphetamines in my manual labor job, I gained about 80 pounds. Been working to lose it ever since. Amphetamines? I am wrong. €5. Would you be interested in doing a video on why porn shouldn't be banned? Also, would you cover anyone else that reviewed The Last of Us TV show? Well, we're going to review The Last of Us TV show. But interested in doing a video on why porn shouldn't be banned? Maybe. I don't think porn should be banned, but I do think that porn is definitely bad, right? Like it's bad for you. Porn is like alcohol. Alcohol is clearly bad for you, but it shouldn't be banned, and you can't ban it. So like, banning it is like the swinging the hammer of the government in this situation is not the way to do it. Ian, $5. Thank you for uploading the Schizophreniac movies. If only I had more blow to enjoy. The Sip, Starcade. Thank you, buddy. Listen, if you guys haven't seen the Schizophreniac movies, you're missing out. I uploaded them in the Discord. Post Nut Authoritarian, $5. I'm sorry, Dev. I had to report your Groiper debate for violence against minors. You just can't murder children on stream. That guy seemed like a 22-year-old, like, deep South libertarian who had gone way too fucking far down the rabbit hole. And he's like, I want an American fascist movement, but I'm not a fascist. Okay, dude. All right. Taras Shavenko, $20. Thank you. Thanks very much. IMO significant percentage of commodity price increases from energy to consumer goods over the past few years is overregulation of industries that handcuffs their ability to increase production to meet demand. Possibly, yes. Regulation has its problems for sure. But at the same time, like, clearly you need, like, sorry libertarians, but clearly you need some regulation. Like, you need something that prevents the company from dumping toxic sludge into the river that destroys the town downstream. You have to have some, like, there are some things there are some places where government is appropriate. Just that there are some places where it's not. And currently, there's definitely some areas that need deregulation, for sure. $2, Local Raven. What are your thoughts on Arch's lolly question? I don't know what his question was. Sorry. Oh god, Zen Chen the Libertarian. The town downstream should take up arms and defend their home from the company. That's the answer. But see, now you have to devote more resources to defense, and otherwise you could just, you know, spend that time getting on with your life. Which is what having, you know, a social contract allows you to have. I think that's all of... That's them. That's them. Just getting on with life is what got us to where we are now. Yeah, you know what? Despite all the problems of where we are now, we are better off right now than a lot of other moments in human history. Probably almost every single moment in human history. So you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it, buddy. Oh my god. Artemis just sent through Streamlabs $100. Thank you very much. Don't worry, Dev. You're only as fat as you are communist. Here's the $100 as promised. Well, Jesus. Hold on. Artemis. Listen, if you're Artemis Fowl, I guess send me a DM. If you're a different Artemis, though, dude, if you want to get put in the $5 club in Discord for life, because that's what $100 gets you, let me know. Send me a DM. All right. $10. This will be the last one before I get on to the news. $10 from Terrace again. Dev, give an example. Sweden found the biggest rare earth deposit in Europe, and because of their regulatory process, it will be 10 to 15 years before those minerals hit the market. Okay, but what does that regulatory process protect? because there is a reasonable argument to be made that like if it protects the environment, that's probably good, right? To a point. Like there's obviously moments where environmentalism can go too far, right? But also you should have some environmental protections, obviously, right? You're a different Artemis. Okay. Get in the Discord, send me a DM. I'll put you in the $5 club, okay? Hold on. Wait. Okay, there's 2 Artemises donating at the same time. Which one is which? Who deserves the reward? I can't tell, guys. I appreciate all the donations, but Jesus. You guys have the same name. How based is it to work out till passing out? Based. Okay. This Artemis didn't send the 100. Okay. I understand. Thank you for being honest, dude. Thank you. Everyone changed their YouTube name to Artemis. Okay. Here. Let me see if I can... thank you very much, Artemis Fowl. I saw the 100 on Streamlabs. I read it out already. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Do you, Artemis Fowl, you have $5 club already, don't you? I think you do. Hold on. Are you even in my fucking Discord? Yes, you are. Let me just see. I'll set it up right now before we get going. Settings. Adderall. Thanks, Holtzen. That's what you had? That's what your amphetamines were? All right. I'll put you in the $5 club for life, Artemis Fowl. Thank you. There you go. Okay. It's Artemis from Always Sunny. Wait, what do you mean? Okay. I'm the real Artemis. I'm the real Artemis. I'm the one. Okay, hold on, guys. Let me adjust something real quick. Before we get going on this nonsense, I want to show you something, okay? I talked about this on stream with Arch. But I want to show it to you again, okay? How many of you know about Canada's Great Bear Rainforest? I always refer back to the Great Bear Rainforest whenever I want to talk about environmentalism. You already have it, Artemis. Sorry, it's already given to you, but thank you for the extra $2. Okay, check this out. This is a picture of Canada's Great Bear Rainforest. Okay? This is the only rainforest that exists this far north in the world. All right? Like, it is like, in terms, like, even though it's a bit colder than jungles, it is technically a jungle, but it exists in the mountains of British Columbia in like a semi-isolated valley. Okay? And Arch made the joke when I was describing it to him that this is the real life Hyperborea, okay? Because even though it's like surrounded by snow peaks, and it's real cold, deep in the valley you have an isolated rainforest. And it's a one-of-a-kind location. In these don't exist anywhere else, all right? This is a one-of-a-kind location in the world. This biome, if this were Minecraft, this would be a biome that only appears here on the map and nowhere else. Okay? It's isolated, it's hard to get to, it's very beautiful, lots of natural beauty here. And it also has some pretty unique wildlife that have also been kind of cut off from the world. Now, give it to the other Artemis? Okay, other Artemis, DM me then, and I'll give it to you if that's okay. But listen. The issue is that there's actually a lot of oil underneath this area. Like shit tons of oil, okay? And you know, the ardent capitalist is like, it's all just fucking trees, who cares? Chop that shit down. Who gives a fuck about the environment? Get that oil out of there. It's worth a bunch of money. You know, fair enough. You can't just ignore that point of view. But I think it's more important. That because this place is actually special, it's not just like a fucking Arabian desert where there's tons of sand everywhere and who cares, but this place is actually special and unique in the world that maybe we shouldn't be digging it up for oil, you know? Maybe there are more important concerns than just straight up economic ones. Okay? As an American, I'm going to have to demand that you immediately surrender that land to me. So, like, there's a lot of oil, for example, in Alberta. And Alberta's like drilling the shit. It's not they're not drilling. It's a shale oil. So they're doing the oil sands thing. They're getting tons of oil out of it. Alberta's making tons of money. It's great. But you know what? Like the tundra that Alberta's dealing with. You know, there's tundra fucking everywhere. Who cares, right? Like, if you lose one patch of tundra, as long as you're not like heavily polluting the environment, you'll be fine. You'll figure it out. This place is relatively unique, and maybe we shouldn't be destroying it just for the bottom line. And that being said, just because this is an environmentalist take, doesn't mean that I'm one of those fucking environmentalist retards who is screaming about like eating meat because of the environmentalist impact that raising cows has, or who's like talking about private jets or some nonsense, though we will have an article about private jets in a little bit. Like, or who is screaming that like no one should ever own a car again and all this nonsense. Like, I'm not going down that. Or like, even the worst part is when they say we can't solve the climate crisis without implementing socialism. Like, holy fuck. Holy shit, guys. All right. So, like, I'm not that sort of environmentalist, but I do think that there's something special here that would be lost if we decided to drill into it. And to Canada's credit, none of the political parties seem to want to go for the oil. Though Trudeau has like flirted with it a little bit, it's very unpopular here, and he seems to not want to do so. So, I'll read the next super chats at the end of the stream, my friends. Okay? So let's continue. If you want to send me anything, please do so by sending it to that P.O. box on screen. Send me your packages. I'll open them. Naomi has informed me that waiting for 5 packages before doing a package opening stream is retarded, and she's probably right. So you know what? If you send me anything, I'll open it right away. The minute I get it, I will open it on the next weekly sip. No waiting. So send me whatever you like. I appreciate all the packages you guys sent. And you know what? Once the silver play button arrives, I'll open that on stream too. So you know what? People have actually sent me boxes of not garbage, but like clearly stuff from their junk drawer. Like old pens and old toys and like a notebook, you know, a broken 360 controller. Like, I appreciate if you don't send me garbage or rotting food, but you can send me anything you want. Also, don't send anthrax. You can send me anything you want, and I will open it on the stream. So, please consider doing so. Let us get to the news. Shall we? I'll send him an anthrax record. Yeah, one guy sent me a horse dildo. Okay. Let's check this stuff out. Yeah, this is Leo, and he's on the Lotus Eater sometimes, isn't he? Wait, his pronouns are she, her now? Oh, okay. All right. A police officer accidentally activated her body cam while searching a house following an offensive tweet. An offensive tweet! And filmed her and her colleagues stealing cash, jewelry, and sunglasses. Wow. This is some shit right here. Give me a second real quick. Give me just a moment, okay? Hold on. Okay. Oh, he hasn't been on in ages because the chat doesn't like him. Really? Okay. Well, that kind of sucks. Oh well. Okay. Let's watch this video.
Come down here.
That shit. Please.
Okay. Put him in my shirt. Hold on. Hey, Gamble. Hold on. Give me a minute. Hold on.
Oh, we got some cocaine.
Oh.
Yeah, everything here. Took.
See what's in here. Oh. Ray-Bans. Hold on, don't come down here.
Holy shit. So apparently the other officer says that they found cocaine. Okay? So, fair enough. Cocaine's illegal. You gotta take the coke. You probably gotta arrest the person. Fair enough. This person here, stealing watches, stealing sunglasses. Is that like a ring right there? Stealing jewelry. What the fuck? What the fuck, dude? Jesus. Yeah, these sound like American cops, yeah. Yeah, this is fucking ridiculous. I hope this video, the person who is being victimized by the cops here takes this video to fucking court and destroys them. Because Jesus Christ, this is ridiculous. Fuck. What's the next one? Oh yeah, this shit. Liquid Chris is back. The real Christian Weston Chandler and the creator of Sonic Chew. Chris Chan's out of jail, guys. Check this out.
Caps log. Stardate. November 4th, 2022. My name is Christian Weston Chandler. I am the true and honest creator of the Sonic Chew franchise. And I've been gone for a bit. Yes, I've been gone for quite some time now. And I'll explain what happened. But that's going to be in a separate video, which you have to search.
Okay, I'm not going to show you the whole 10 minutes. Because, like, here. This guy's clearly not Chris Chan, right? Clearly. But this person, now that the real Chris Chan is in jail, okay? This person has decided to, on TikTok, take up the mantle of Chris Chan. And everyone's saying that they should just consider him the real Chris Chan. And that if and when Chris Chan ever gets out of jail, they'll just be like, you're a faker, this is the real Chris Chan. This one right here. Just as like yet another way to further fuck with Chris Chan. And yeah, Liquid Chris, yeah. So but the joke is gonna be that, what was it called? The transcendence or whatever, where the timelines or universes collide in Chris Chan's head. That we're gonna all claim that actually happened in real life, and that the universe has changed such that this person is now the real Chris Chan. And that the Chris Chan in jail apparently universe jumped into a universe where this other Chris Chan has the actual title of being Chris Chan. Yeah. Gaslighting on a metaverse scale. The dimensional merge, yeah. So, that's going to be the troll, guys. That's the troll. Make sure to stick to it. Okay. What's next? Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. The fact that everyone in the room knew the sound. Check this out. Wow. So yeah, the intro to the Pornhub theme is actually a song, and this person played the song, and everyone turned around because they knew what it was. Which is fucking hilarious. They're all just telling on themselves. Also, damn, they're all women, eh? Are women really that open about watching porn nowadays? When I was in high school, they were not open about it at all. Guys were, you got 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, like, yeah, I downloaded a cool porn last night, like, fuck, you know how to use Kazaa and LimeWire, like, fair enough, right? But girls, no, girls like, oh, never, oh, never. Back in the 2000s, girls would never admit to that shit. Pavlov's dogs. All right. Okay. Here's a heartwarming one. The moment the actor F. Murray Abraham realized the crowd was cheering for him. Here, guys. Let's have our hearts warmed.
The moment actor F. Murray Abraham realized the crowd was cheering for him.
Actor, he's finally getting some kind of recognition at the Golden Globes, and he just looks so delighted about it. That makes me happy. My heart can't be warmed. That's a shame. That's a shame. All right. What is next, my friend? Anti-woke Canadian rapper tops music charts with his controversial message. I'm out of coffee. My coffee never lasts for a whole stream, you know? My coffee never lasts for a whole stream. Yeah. Rapper Tom MacDonald, who grew up in Alberta and British Columbia, is known for his anti-woke, anti-government stance and has amassed a right-wing fan base for his bold lyrics. And he's rising to the top of mainstream music charts. Damn, guys. Remember when, like, people who looked like this did music back in the 90s? And the politicians were saying that this was the downfall, the degeneracy of America and of the West? And now people like this are right wing. It's like, damn. I guess that's how it is, eh? That's how it is. He was called one of the most talked about new artists in hip hop, with one of the most divisive personas the genre's ever seen. In one of his songs, Snowflakes, he muses, "If you lie to the government, they'll put you in a prison. But when they lie to all of us, it's called being a politician. You think taking guns away will save our kids from the killings, but your pro-choice abortion kills way more children." Damn. After a video for the song was released on YouTube in 2021, he gained more recognition, including a Twitter follow from Donald Trump Jr. and an interview in the Daily Wire with Ben Shapiro, a conservative political commentator. All right. So this guy's he's taking off, man. He's taking off. Yeah. His popularity is continuing to rise despite his controversial perspectives. His latest song, Ghost, was the #1 most downloaded song on Apple iTunes Music Store on Thursday, which is a rarity for an independent artist. Holy fuck. #1 song in the country in all genres. Damn. McDonald's name has largely steered clear of mainstream media headlines. In an interview with Fox News, he said that people have become allergic to opinions in North America in these last 5 years. He also discussed his song, Fake Woke, in which he says US rapper Eminem used to gay bash and sing about murdering his mom, but now he doesn't want fans if they voted for Trump. The song also discusses race, politics, and how it's more difficult to get a job than purchase a gun. There's this performative wokeness that's going on in society today, and I think it's important to point some fingers at the hypocrisy at the way the world is changing, not for the better. He also called out cancel culture for going too far. Of course. If I'm reading something I don't like, I close the book. I don't try to call the radio station and call people who are on TV names and try to cancel them. He has 859,000 followers on Instagram, 261 on Twitter, 3.47 million on YouTube. Damn. He's also been criticized for his rise to prominence by taking the undercooked platitudes of the intellectual dark web and filtering them into songs. Of course, Vice said that. Of course they did. Wow. In May 2021, McDonald spent $100,000 on an instrumental NFT created by American rapper Eminem called Stan's Revenge. McDonald used the music as the backdrop to a new song he wrote, Dear Slim, and presented it as a rap produced by Eminem. The point is that Tom McDonald bought an Eminem beat on the open market and used it to make a song that really fucking sucks, and there's nothing that any of us, even Eminem, can do about it, the Vice article complained. And then he said on Twitter, I can't even pretend to give a fuck if you don't like it. Oh my god, that's funny, dude. Wow. All right. I don't like rap. I have no clue who this guy is, but at the very least, it's kind of funny. The ATF is not commenting on the undercover Canadian police officer at a gun show in Great Falls. We reached out to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives in regard to the undercover Canadian police officer found at the gun show in Great Falls back in September. The ATF's public information officer told us they're not going to comment on the issue, and they will not have a conversation about it. In September, local county employees and people saw someone with Canadian license plates watching people at a gun show in Great Falls. Wow. The person in question was an undercover police officer assigned to a Royal Canadian Mounted Police Task Force for gun smuggling and was working with the ATF. Cascade County Sheriff told Montana Right Now, which is this website, the sheriff's office was not informed about the undercover operation. So what's going on here is that a Canadian RCMP officer, which is Canada's FBI, had American permission, presumably federal American permission, to cross the border and go to a gun show in the States, a legal gun show, and spy on people, hoping to look for gun smugglers. Wow. Lots of guns are bought in Montana and brought up to Alberta. Yeah. So the issue is that they thought guns are being smuggled illegally over the border, it sounds like. Yep. That's how it is, man. And the local police were not informed by the operation. Wow. Yep. I'm drinking water now, not maple syrup or coffee, guys. I'm drinking water. Here's the headliner, guys. Hooters is shutting down and rebranding after new study shows that millennials aren't that into boobs. Millennials ruin everything, guys. They ruin everything. So the study that this is a recent post, but the study that they're referring to comes from 2017. And here we go. Millennials have a new attitude about cleavage that's forcing the breastaurant Hooters to close locations and change its strategy. So, millennials are less interested in breasts than their elders. People from the age of 18 to 24 are 19% less likely to search for breasts on pornographic website Pornhub. Wow. Pornhub visitors from the ages of 55 to 64 are 17% more likely to search for breast-related content. Millennials' pornography preferences seem to be part of a wider trend. At the moment, larger breasts are out, though I'm sure they'll come back. Yeah. For restaurants like Hooters and Twin Peaks, a loss of interest in breasts is bad for business. To be fair, it does seem like big tits is, like your grandpa's fetish. Now it's all about like abs and feet and stepsisters, and point of view porn. Like, girl with big boob is not enough anymore. It's time for Tomboy Outback. It's time for Femboy Hooters, Zen-chan. Yeah, goth IHOP. Okay, let's go. Let's continue. She is Africa's first heat officer. Can she make her city livable? Eugenia Cargbo remembers when Sierra Leone's capital was greener and cooler and is now trying to help the city combat rising temperatures. So, the city hired a heat officer whose job it is to make the city cooler. I have no fucking clue how this is supposed to work. Also, look at it. Like, these are all like African ladies, African dudes. They look like they're just living regular lives or selling their wares in the street, very kind of normal. Like, and then this lady looks like hyper westernized and, pretty privileged compared to the rest of them. And she's posing right in the center, like she's some sort of aristocrat. Before Sierra Leone's capital of Freetown exploded into a sprawling metropolis, eating up wooded hills and encroaching on the Atlantic, Eugenia Cargbo loved it for the pristine beaches and lush forests that once enveloped the city, and for its green landscape. She grew up there in the 1990s, and she wants to see the city reclaim those vistas. And as Freetown's first chief heat officer, a post created in 2021, that is her seemingly impossible mission: to make the city verdant and livable again by helping it cope with rising temperatures and other climate changes. These disruptions, along with decades of uncontrolled urban development, have left the capital prone to deadly landslides and annual floods, with heat waves all year long. All right. Heat is invisible, but it's killing people silently, she said in an interview on one of the top floors of Freetown City Hall, a massive air-conditioned building that towers over the dozens of informal settlements dotting the capital of the small West African nation. Wow. Children are not sleeping at night because of the extreme temperature. It affects their ability to learn and their parents' productivity. But this is a city of 1.2 million people, where up to 60% of people live in makeshift housing made of corrugated iron roofs and walls that turn the place into an open-air oven most of the year. It's one of the world's poorest countries. Few people have air conditioning, and there is not nearly enough money to finance ambitious fixes. So, what's our plan? What's our plan to fix things? All right. Okay, hold on. Where people are suffering now. Okay, what's your plan? Jesus Christ! Look at this fucking place. Holy shit. Honestly, it looks like a first-person shooter map. Okay. What's your plan? What's your plan? Let's see. Her portfolio is part of a broader plan known as Transform Freetown that's championed by her boss, the mayor. Mayor Yvonne Aki Sawyer. Her position was created and funded by the Adrienne Arsht Rockefeller Foundation Resilience Center, part of a Washington-based Atlantic Council. So she wants to raise her son and daughter, now 11 and 8, in a city with parks and public fountains. She envisions a greener, cooler Freetown where the untouched beaches she walked in her youth are preserved, instead of subject to illegal sand mining, and where trees she once found solace in are protected instead of cut down to build more houses. Okay, so this is undoubtedly considered to be a very lefty position. More parks, more green spaces, more shade, make the city more livable. Okay, fair enough, right? Meanwhile, in the West, it's a very lefty position to cut down all of the green space that exists around a lot of cities, whatever green space there is in LA. In Toronto, here in Canada, there's tons of push to destroy Toronto green space to build more houses, and it's the conservatives who are like, no, you can't do that. So, yeah. So she has, as heat officer, she's installed a few public gardens that provide tiny oases of freshness to elders sipping tea under the shade of trees. She's also set up canopies and outdoor markets meant to prevent vendors from selling fish, meat, and vegetables for long hours from the blazing sun. She wants to provide buildings with white roofs that will reflect heat instead of absorbing it, install public fountains, and many, many more trees. So all of this stuff is stuff that you can do, but I don't know why you need a heat officer. You know what I mean? Like, it seems that seems like something that any public works person can do. You know what I mean? Yeah, your plan is to plant trees and have fountains, which will help, sure. Like, it'll help, but like, I don't think you need, like, this job just feels like a way to funnel money, you know? Like, you don't need her to do this job. Because I've worked for a municipal government before. We built parks, and we put in water fountains, and we did all this shit. We did all this shit without needing a heat officer. You know what I mean? You ever heard of a diversity officer? Here's one thing that I've actually noticed about Africa. This is, I don't care about this article anymore, fuck it. But like, one thing that I've noticed about Africa is, like, I've been thinking about it. Africa seems to be like the most genetically diverse population. So to lump them all in as one ethnicities, you know, black people, seems to be kind of ridiculous, doesn't it? You know, if you look at the measurements, like, the tallest people in the world are people of African descent, right? But at the same time, the shortest people in the world are the Pygmy tribe, and the Pygmies are Africans, right? The fastest people in the world are Africans. The lowest IQ people are African, but also the highest IQ people are often, not always, but often African. So it seems like to call everyone from Africa black doesn't make much sense, does it? There's a lot of genetic diversity in Africa, you know? One guy in the chat's like, false. Oh, yeah, okay. The lowest IQ people are African. The server's gonna clip that shit. It's true though. Like, fuck. Africa's a continent with, like, what, 1 billion people? Of course they're gonna have, like, smart people and dumb people there, dude. Like, fuck. We call everyone from Europe white. I don't. Not anymore. I used to, but I've kind of moved away from that, like, more North American race centric view of things, because, you know, like, the various ethnicities in Europe are different. They're not all just white people, you know. That's why, like, people who say that, like, Nazism is a white person problem are so fucking stupid, right? Because it's an Aryan problem. They had a different conception of ethnicity, and there are many white people who didn't apply. So, like, no, people are dumb when it comes to this sort of stuff, right? Anyway, let's continue, though. President Putin has Parkinson's and cancer. Jesus. I keep hearing reports about Putin's health. It never sounds good. Not that I care that much, but you know what I mean. A Russian intelligence source close to the president reportedly confirmed that Vladimir Putin has early-stage Parkinson's disease and pancreatic cancer. Speculations about the 70-year-old president's ailing health have circulated for years. The Russian tyrant is also thought to be closely monitored by a team of doctors. Putin was recently photographed with apparent IV track marks on the back of his hand, fueling rumors that he is suffering from cancer and extreme discomfort. The Russian security services also said there are several rumors about how the president now having prostate cancer. I can confirm he has been diagnosed with early-stage Parkinson's disease, but it's already progressing. According to the emails, the president is stuffed with all kinds of steroids and painkillers to alleviate the pain. The side effects of the medication includes memory loss and puffy face. Jesus Christ. That's why his face seems more puffy than normal, eh? Of course, the Kremlin has contradicted the claim that the leader is sick. As they would, you know? Ex-MI6 chief, Sir Richard Dearlove. Hold on. This doesn't sound fucking right. Isn't it MI5? Anyway. He claimed that the leader will be taken to a sanatorium and will die by 2023. That sounds a bit ridiculous. I don't know about that. That sounds kind of... Yeah. Honestly, in terms of like just cost-benefit analysis, the war in Ukraine has been like a great thing for Western liberal governments. Like, America is honestly not giving Ukraine that much money. Like, I know people are complaining about it, but like, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that much. And in exchange for what America has given Ukraine so far, they've destroyed 50% of Russian military equipment. And it's like, dude, holy shit. What a return on that fucking investment. Damn. This is just the narrative of the West, though. Putin is done. Ha ha ha. Okay, Momo, I'm gonna tell you something. All right. If you're a realist when it comes to politics, you're brain rotted. Okay. Not everything is simply a narrative pushed forward by people who are in power. There actually is an underlying truth, independent of power, that you can appeal to beyond just what someone in power wants you to do or wants you to believe. Let me look it up, Vicar, real quick. Okay. Okay. I had to show this to Arch recently, and I can't find it anymore. Fuck, I can't. Why American aid to Ukraine is incredibly cost effective. That's a YouTube video, though. Where's the article?
Ukraine is
Shut
stuck
up.
in.
I can't fucking find it anymore. Damn. Basically, America got a good deal, but I can't find it. I can't find it right away. Sorry, man. Like Russia's fucked. Russia's fucked at this point. All right, Russia's like collapsing. But Dev, the Western economies are falling and Russia's booming. Gone zero lira wouldn't lie. What do you mean Dev's been talking to Kraut too much? What do you mean by that? Kraut's a good guy. Oh. I mean, so, no, Dev, what do you mean we didn't? What are you talking about, Brock? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what you guys are saying. So when Ukraine loses, what will the cope be? I don't know. If Ukraine loses, then they lose, right? I mean, listen, Neon Reagan, I'm not like super invested in this conflict. Like I'm halfway across the world. I don't actually care that much, you know? All things considered, it doesn't affect me. But nonetheless, I think Russia's fucked. I think Russia is going to lose this, and they're going to lose it very badly. Okay, hold on. Let me rephrase. Russia's fucked long term. All right. This attacking Ukraine is like, it's not like Russia's ascendant and oh my god, the liberal democracies are crumbling and the liberal hegemonic world order is falling apart. Oh no. This is Russia's dying gasp. That's what this is. This is Russia like desperately trying to scrabble at some sort of relevancy. All right, because they are fucked. They're going to hit a demographic crisis that is so much worse than ours. It's so much worse than ours. It's not even funny. Like they're a fucked country. They're a fucked country, and they were hoping that some sort of successful foreign war would dig them out of the hole that they're in, and now they're just crumbling apart. They're fucked. They're fucked. All right. Russia won't lose, and I'm effed if they win. Whoa, hold on. Thanks for joining the $5 Club, Steven. Appreciate it, buddy. Oh, here's the thing. I don't enjoy the death of Russians, Soup Visual. I'm not saying that. Like, me personally, I don't care too much one way or another. But if we're talking geopolitics here, this was like a last-ditch effort for Russia to try and remain relevant, and it fucking destroyed them. It blew up in their fucking face. Let's continue. Man shot dead in New York City while bicycling to shoot someone else. Wow, guys. At least 3 people were shot across the city overnight, including a latex glove-wearing bicyclist fatally gunned down while pedaling to pull off a suspected hit himself. The slain 26-year-old man was riding a bike at Crown Street and Rogers Avenue in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, around 2 a.m. He was blasted in the head by a drive-by shooter. The victim, who had been arrested a dozen times in the city, was wearing black rubber gloves when he was shot, and investigators believe he had planned to carry out a shooting with 2 other guys. Holy fuck. He was rushed to the Kings County Hospital Center. He was pronounced dead. The shooting is believed to be gang-related. About 2 hours earlier, a 21-year-old man was blasted in the buttocks and lower back. Okay, more shootings. Holy fuck, they're just shooting each other in New York. Get the fuck out of New York, guys. Holy fuck. Momo, Dev's perspective on Russia sounds one-sided, IMO. Okay, well, tell me the other side. Go ahead. Like, what's the good part? I mean, Russia took some territory, but they're also losing that territory slowly and surely. Like, what's the positive here? Here's the thing about one-sidedness, all right? Is that after having examined the Russian position and the Ukrainian position and then the Western position, it seems like the Russian position is the one that is the most false, all right? Did you see the massive London fight where 100 people were fighting with machetes in the street? No, I didn't, but that sounds fucking ridiculous. Stay the fuck out of London, too. Jesus. They aren't. Ukraine's retreating. You wouldn't just go on the internet and say some lying bullshit, would you? Let me just see. Where's the Ukrainian front line? Let's see. Here we go. But the front line right here. I'll just pull it up real quick. March 15th, Russia had taken all this shit. On the 29th, they had taken even more across the river. October 30th, Ukraine had kind of fortified in. By 13th of November, they had taken back all this area. So, like, Ukraine's still pushing. They're still doing it. Like, there's a lot to go. Like, there's a lot more to reclaim. But they're doing it slowly but surely. You know. Okay, I'll look for a more recent one. Neon Reagan, hold on. Let's see. Current Ukrainian front lines. Come on, where is it? Jesus Christ, this is a... This one's from 3 days ago. All right? 3 days ago. 3 days ago. Like, that area is still all reclaimed. You know? This area's all been reclaimed. So, there's apparently, Ukrainian partisan warfare is happening in these striped areas. Like, it seems like it's happening. It's just happening slowly, you know? They have been retreating in the center, you shit. Where? Where does it show that? Show me a source, buddy. Show me a fucking source. Cope. Show it to me! Dev, your assumptions about the West's perspective are false. You put too much trust in our institutions. Why should we support one corrupt regime over another? It's clear that one regime is less corrupt than the other. That's why, all right? That's fucking why. I hate the anti-institutionalism that has taken hold of some of you guys. It's so fucked. All right. Here, let me see here. Where's... Zen Chan gave me an extra news story that apparently I should cover right now. My sources, I made it the fuck up. Zelensky has banned all oppositions, or all who oppose him have been banned or silenced. You can make certain exceptions during wartime. You know? Like, I don't know if you recall, but in the UK, they had, what was it called? The Grand Coalition or something? Where basically, for the length of World War II, the British Parliament, all the parties agreed, listen, we're not going to fucking fight amongst each other. We're gonna fight the war because things are fucked right now. So, like, this shit happens pretty commonly during an emergency situation. All right? It's fine. Okay. I'm pulling this shit up because Zen Chan wanted me to cover it. Mass machete brawl. A machete brawl involving 100 people in East London leaves a boy, 17 years old, fatally stabbed. Jesus. 100 people fighting in a residential street with knives and machetes. This is rather ridiculous, isn't it? In a statement, a Metropolitan Police spokesperson said that shortly after midnight last night, police were called to reports of a disturbance involving a large number of people in Lichfield Road, E3. What is E3? E3, where you see all the new video games for the year. Officers attended and became aware of 2 males with stab wounds. Medics from the London Ambulance Service and London's Air Ambulance attended. One of the victims was given CPR at the scene by paramedics and specialist trauma doctors, and both teenagers were taken to the East London Major Trauma Center. Despite the best efforts of medical staff, one of the males, who was age 17, was pronounced dead. The second male, 18, is critical condition. The mass brawl is believed to have broken out after a number of people were refused entry to a house party in the area. Immediately after the incident, senior officers in East London authorized a Section 60 order, allowing police to stop and search anyone in the area. Weapons that have not been recovered, and it is believed there are still persons armed with weapons in the vicinity, and considers there to be reprisals. Okay. So holy fuck. 100-person fucking machete war in London. It just, yeah, it's part and parcel of living in a big city, right? That's how it fucking is. 28 stab wounds. Jesus fucking Christ. London needs the Ghost of Tsushima. All right. Enough of this nonsense. Let's continue on. Creator of religious right-wing Christian furry festival splits community amid drug and adultery allegations. Oh my God. A furry convention for those who lean right-wing with a noted Christian religious stance is now in jeopardy after an ongoing scandal began to unfold following its Free For All 2022 convention. She left her husband and child to be in a poly relationship with a dude who groomed a teenager. Oh my God. Right-wing furry, right-wing Christian furries, guys. The furry content and costume creator known as Peace Wolf and her husband Foxglove are now purportedly embattled in divorce proceedings following the event, which saw Foxglove forced out of the AWOO Association. Oh, what does AWOO stand for? AWOO Association. Before Peace Wolf's reported leaving. The event's guests of honor, content creators and married duo Jason Effects and Cabs Corner, have found themselves in the middle of the community schism, amid reports that they are responsible for Peace Wolf's infidelity and the sudden leaving of her family to fly to Canada. I'm not going to fucking click on this. Fuck that shit. When you're cheated on by your best friend and your worst nightmare comes to life, you don't know who you can trust anymore. You're left broken, confused, terrified. In my case, I found solace in two very kind, very understanding individuals. So, of course, there's furry art of the drama in the situation. My God, guys. According to multiple furries that were in attendance and firsthand interact with everyone involved, Foxglove was reportedly unfaithful months prior in his long-standing marriage with Peace Wolf. A reconciliation was supposedly attained, at which Foxglove and Peace Wolf started the adoption process to legally adopt a 17-year-old. Jason FX and Cab's Corner, a married furry content creation couple in Canada, were the guests of honor to the event hosted by Peace Wolf, who reportedly entered into a polycule with the couple, resulting in their sudden leaving of the household shared with Foxglove and the art created by Cab's Corner leaving behind as the last word. As after Peace Wolf left for Canada and the polycule, don't leave to play TF2. We're doing it. We're doing this. After Peace Wolf left for Canada and the polycule, their fan base religiously charged Christian furries began to lash out and ratio her when she would come onto Twitter, blaming her for walking out on the family and business. Sometimes relationships don't turn out to be everything we've hoped for. In my case, I was young, naive, and didn't recognize narcissism. I was a caged wolf, only loved out in the open. Behind closed doors was a different story. Break the chains that bind you. You are unfaithful and unloyal. If there was a problem, you should have talked to him. Instead, you left your husband and child to be in a relationship with degenerates. You have lost the respect of me and hundreds of other believers. Ratio. Plus L plus ratio. Wow. Well, what I find upsetting the most is that there is no explanation of what really happened. The fact that you left your abusive husband doesn't set me. For I am all for escaping abuse, for your health. But what is killing me is that you left your children with them. I look forward to any new leaks that are coming out. Anyone who is defending peace is directly working with them as damage control. They will, at all costs, protect the image of their gay little fur con. The TF2 server is not yet up, no. I can't believe this made a mainstream. Panty, I know that you're a fur fag. How are you doing hearing about this shit? Do I really want to keep fucking... Okay, hold on. Jason FX and Cab's Corner on the other side of the community divide, who have been praised by someone as helping Peace Wolf to escape from a reportedly toxic and narcissistic marriage from Foxglove, with the infidelity earlier in the year being pointed to as the last straw that finally broke the marriage. However, this is not Jason's first controversy within the furry community, as many longtime members of it are calling out Jason for allegedly grooming in relation to his wife, Cabye, who was doing work for him when he was 20 and she was 15, resulting in a relationship at 16 and 20 that led to the two eventually being married. While completely within the legal age of 16 for both Canada and Australia, many in the community, being US-based furries, are taking umbrage with the age disparity and allegations that he was seen handing out LSD during the free-for-all event. What a fucking shit show! Listen, Chud Logic is currently live. I'm going to try and get... Oh, no. I'm going to try and give him this article. I want him to read this. Yo, Chud. I'm live, too. I just read this. And you will want to see it. What a wild ride. Right-wing Christian furries, guys. Holy fuck. How can Britain ever embrace cycling if our bikes keep getting stolen? Oh, poor Bugman. Police have never taken cycle theft seriously, and the worst effects of this crime are felt by young and disadvantaged people. I recall in Toronto, people just wouldn't lock their bikes up because everyone knew that they were getting stolen. So they just... The city's bikes were basically held in commune. If you walk outside and need a bike, you see one, you just take it. Like, that's how it was for a while. And it's like, fuck it, man. Fuck bikes. Fuck bikes, dude. I love bikes. I love biking on them. But fuck bikes in Toronto, at least. Meanwhile, in Japan, you don't see much bike theft. In Japan, things are pretty chill. You need a high-trust society for this stuff to work. And the UK is no high-trust society. For most cyclists, at least not in London anyway, for most cyclists, bike theft feels like an inevitability. It is one of those risks that you are doomed to face any day you take your bike out, such as the fear I have of my pride and joy being stolen. Yes, I am one of those people who consider my bike to be my most important possession, that I rarely, if ever, lock up outside. At home, it stays inside. At work, I take it into the building. If the bike is outside, I'm either on it or in close proximity to it. It doesn't seem to matter what kind of lock or preventative measure you use, or when you leave, or where you leave them. Bikes, from a cheap secondhand cycle to a top-of-the-line Ridge Racer, can go missing in an instant, with little recourse apart from claiming them on insurance. This easy crime and the fear of it happening is compounded by a lack of action by the police. Analysis by the Liberal Democrats, released earlier this week, shows that 90% of all bicycle theft cases reported to police in England and Wales over the past year were closed without a suspect even being identified. Wow. Listen, get yourself a real high-quality lock, all right? You can spend a good chunk of money on a good lock that won't be broken so easily. I have a decent lock, for my bike. All in my cycling group chats are regularly inundated with tales of woe from people who have had their prized bike stolen. I have a friend who has 2 different bikes stolen from their work lockup. I know people who have been robbed of their bike at knife point. After another friend had her bike taken from the 10-foot pole it was locked to outside her house. The thieves convinced her neighbors to lend them a ladder on the pretense that they had lost the key to the bike's lock, and then lifted the whole thing clean over. It can be both that simple and that outlandish. It's no surprise that theft seems to affect the young disadvantaged the most, as they're the ones who are less likely to have a secure place to lock their bike, or indeed have any insurance. Included in the myriad problems of finding places to live that are affordable and livable is the difficulty of finding somewhere where you can leave a bike outside or keep it out of harm's way. There are problems all across our creaking state, but bike theft has never been taken seriously, and it is not something that can be cured simply with better funded police. The data was used by the Lib Dems to attack the Conservatives over police numbers and funding, yet the problem and solution goes beyond this, to culture, design, and ultimately how we value an increasingly essential mode of transport. Stealing a bike is a classic low-risk, high-reward crime. Imagine if other kinds of theft were treated with the same kind of indifference or acceptance by the victims. I don't go around thinking my laptop will be stolen in the same way as my bike. Fucking hell, dude. Fucking hell. Oh my god, this guy just goes on about it. Fuck, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Fuck bikes, dude. Or at least fuck bikes in a city, alright? Get yourself a decent quality lock, like a good, strong lock. And frankly, don't leave it locked up outside like for a billion years, man. Put GPS in your bike. Here's what you do, alright? Once your bike is stolen, head over to Kijiji. Well, actually, no, Americans don't have Kijiji. Head over to whatever website where people sell stuff in your area on, like Facebook Marketplace or whatever. Look for your bike being sold, and then go to them and take it back like a Giga Chad. All right, check this out. This is from 2020. It's kind of important to talk about though. Why Taylor Swift has become one of the world's biggest sustainable fashion influencers. Oh my god, guys. She has lots of influence, 131 million Instagram followers, and she's been using her music to champion LGBTQI rights, encouraging people to vote, and also sustainable fashion. She's sustainable, guys. Sustainable. This got released a few months ago. What is the carbon footprint of celebrities? Well, the biggest celebrity carbon footprint, at least in terms of private jet CO2 emissions, is Taylor Swift. With, in 2022, 8,293.54 tons of carbon dioxide emissions. And then, of course, you have in second place Floyd Mayweather, Jay-Z, A-Rod, Blake Shelton, Steven Spielberg, Kim Kardashian, Mark Wahlberg, Oprah Winfrey, and then Travis Scott. Good job. Good job. So the rich elites will lecture to you about using less carbon while they just fucking burn through it all. All right. They want it all. They don't actually want to make things better. They want it all to themselves. Of course. Of course. How could it be any other way? Speaking of rankings, the most watched television networks ranking 2022's winners and losers. This is not so interesting, to be honest, but there is at least one thing we should talk about. So, for example, ESPN as the winner, fair enough. Crime TV, okay. Diginets, all right. Losers. The lowest score on the TV rankings is G4. You know, the the dead channel that was trying to get revived by Comcast, Adam Sessler, Frost Curran, who ruined the whole fucking thing. G4. Comcast Sports and Esports Division has tried to relaunch the video gamer-centric network 2 years ago, but it shut down again in October. And it's not hard to see why. G4 was the least watched of every network that Nielsen measures, averaging a paltry 1,000 in primetime. Its rating in adults 18 to 49, 0. Nobody in their target age range, 18 to 49, watched them. No one. All right? Next network, they brought back G4. I did a few videos on the revived G4 because it was a shit show. I did a few videos over the course of 2022. But they brought back G4, tried to make it work again, and no one watched it. Literally 0. Nobody watched it. Holy fuck, guys. All right. This is on Bounding into Comics. The Japanese Communist Party condemns the Dragon Quest series over gender stereotypes and excessive sexiness. As feminist game journalists in the West currently obsess over the male gaze in Bayonetta 3, the Japanese Communist Party has turned their censorious eyes on the classic Dragon Quest franchise for similar reasons. Yeah, Dragon Quest has like a lot of shit like this, like Jade using Sexy Beam. There's a lot of shit like this. On October 16th, the Japanese communist publication Shimbun Akahata published an essay by a party member criticizing what he perceived as the problematic elements of Square Enix's classic RPG franchise. There's been one problem that's been bothering me throughout the whole thing, and it has to do with gender issues, wrote the JCP member as per a translation provided by Twitter. I feel there's a strong male perspective everywhere. For example, like this is from the 2004 Dragon Quest, where you have a girl in a bunny suit, of course. For example, the chosen hero who was born to save the world is a male. There's even a childhood friend who continues waiting and saves herself for the hero. Even for roles and abilities, male characters are generally assigned to attack, while female characters are assigned to heal and support. The way they speak, using daze and dawa endings, is also stereotyped by gender. Moreover, the excessive sexiness of the characters is also concerning, such as the character model for the female martial artist that focuses on her breasts and hips, and the use of bunny girl outfits as armor for female characters. The fact that many towns have sexually oriented areas is also problematic. Based on his complaints, it is clear the author of the Shimbun Akahata essay has maybe played only one game into the entire franchise. Of course. As many fans of the series may know, Dragon Quest has regularly offered players the option to select the gender of a game's protagonist. So you can just be a girl. Just play as a fucking girl, dude. Yeah. You can always play as a girl, all right? So definitely you should play more Dragon Quest. It's actually really good. Also, yeah, Jade is a martial artist in Dragon Quest 9. They don't fucking know what they're talking about. All right? Listen, guys, I am actually 10 minutes late. I should have been done. I have to go somewhere IRL, so I have to... I'll do these last 2 articles next time. I got a piece. But you know what? I will read the super chats real quick before I go, okay? I'll blast through them. There is the P.O. box. Send me your garbage. Send me your junk. Send me all your stuff, okay? And I'll read the supers, and we can get the fuck out of here, because I had to be somewhere by 1:30. Oops. Okay. Mr. JK162, €5. I'm playing Dragon Quest 11 right now. It's great. Awesome, dude. Have fun. Thank you. Real Holtzer, $5. Stupid autocorrect. Also, bike locks can be used for self-defense rate of victory. Oh, yeah. Just ask college professors. Damn, that's awesome. Willison, $10. Thank you. With the Peace Wolf thing, that Kyber left behind art depicting how many times they had sex before she left him. Not a good look for someone whose brand is a Christian, faithful, and down to earth. Yeah, man. Christian furries, dude. Fuck. Real Holtzner, $5. The UK would be a high trust society if they took the Darwin solution. I don't know what you mean. You mean like Darwin, like natural selection? Oh, okay. Thank you. Lord Tennyson's pipe, $2. Should I unironically send Dev a Bible? Yes or no? I can't answer that, my friend. That's up to you. Emperor Creatine, $5. Right-wing furry. Yes, Alex, I'll take things that don't exist for $500, please. Holtzner, $5. War is no time for democracy. The Quartermaster, CGP Grey. Exactly. Like, here's the thing. Suppression of, like, we have to unite and fight the invader, and we can't deal with petty partisan politics right now. That happens during moments of emergency in liberal democracies. But that sort of suppression happens all the time in dictatorships. That's the difference, all right? This is not a situation where it's like, the actual morals of any of these states don't matter, and it's all just post hoc justification of the use of power. Lots of like libertarians say that, lots of realists say that, and it's just not true. It's not true, all right? Ideology does play a role, and it's not all just used after the fact, after they've gained power, and it's all just like calculations. It's some of that, but it's not all that. Absolutely. Will is in $2. I already answered that. Okay. Sorry, but it sounds like let me just go. Excuse me. I already answered that. Okay. Digital Parker, $5. I'm an hour late to the stream. I'll catch the VOD of the stream. Keep at it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Holznader, $5. There's a lot of cultural diversity in Africa. Dev, you're too scared to admit that it's all just power and your liberal institutions have been corrupted to work this way? I don't believe it. I don't believe it, dude. Listen, if it actually was all just power, then why do you think that, like, Abu Ghraib was ever a scandal and people got punished? Because even though America had the power to do what was then in Abu Ghraib, they didn't have the political will behind it because it was unpopular. So no, it's not all just fucking... Is TreadLogic even online on YouTube? Or is he only streaming on Twitch right now? Let me see. Hold on. If TreadLogic's not streaming on YouTube, then we should go raid him on Twitch, guys. We should go raid him on Twitch. Yeah, it seems like he's not on YouTube today. Chud, you fucker. Durham was the name of the segregated town in Sargon's campaign. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh fuck, that's old. I forget about that shit, man. Communist leader in Japan don't have the best of luck. Just look at Hajir Hanasuma. Thanks, Sean King. Thanks for all the donations today, guys. I really highly appreciate it. Yeah. No, wait, hold on. V won't even let me fucking raid him, though. Is it racist to have big butts? V, let me fucking raid you. Okay. Hold on. No. Let's see if we can raid V, because V is actually on. V. Oh my god. V, you fucking... Okay, hold on. Everyone, can you see this? This is the link. Can you guys see that? Go to that link. That is where we're going. That is V's stream. Tell V to fucking let me raid him. All right, guys. Everyone go over to V. Let's say hi to V. He's a good boy. And I'll see you next time. Thanks very much. Sorry I had to cut it off early. Again, I got to do these earlier in the day. See you later. I love you.